Hello, happy Sunday and welcome to Philly Philly. And John, I see that you are joining. I am so excited. Welcome to my live stream. And tonight you're in for a treat, making something super yummy, but also easy. And the oven does a lot of the work for you. And so I'm going to be getting started right away on this recipe, but thank you for joining. And for anyone else that's joining the stream, please feel free to pop in on the chat and say hello. I love to see who is joining us. And if you're not comfortable with that, that's totally fine too. So welcome to my kitchen. I'm Philly Philly, and we are making a shrimp and butter roasted tomato sauce with bucatini and shrimp. Did I mention shrimp? Yes. So this is a mashup of some recipes that I came across years ago. In fact, it was funny, when I was getting ready for it, I saw that the original recipe that I noticed, that I tried the first time, was from 2017, and it was in a Bon Appetit magazine. I'm sorry, yes, a Bon Appetit magazine. My sister gets those. I get other foodie magazines, and then we kind of like share with each other, especially when we're at the lake. And I come across this recipe, and I thought it was really had ingenuity, because you used canned tomatoes, and through roasting them and tossing them with some other ingredients, you deepen the flavor and you create these really long cooked flavors in a short amount of time in your oven, and then you toss pasta with it. So now I will tell you, this is not the viral recipe that went viral about a year ago with the feta and the cherry tomatoes and all that. That I've heard is yummy. But this is something different that we did a few years ago. And then, as you know, I'm a big fan of The Kitchen, and I'd seen one of the cooks on The Kitchen do something similar, but they added some fresh herbs. And I love, herbs in an oven roasted flavor. So I actually tweaked it and did some of the things they suggested to my original Bon Appetit recipe. So yes, this is a great big can, 28 ounces of San Marzano tomatoes, and that's what we'll be using today, whole tomatoes. So I'm going to be doing a mashup. So because when I found another version of roasted tomato sauce, I liked some of the things they did, so I added it to the technique I was already doing. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to first of all open up my can of tomatoes.
Cento is from South Jersey.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that, John? Cento is from South Jersey? I did not know that.
What's that for?
Interesting. A little nugget from the hubs. Okay.
You're wrong.
And so in the Bon Appetit recipe, you dump the whole thing into your roasting pan. So on the Kitchen recipe, they did it a little differently, and they actually drained it and roasted just the tomatoes. But Bon Appetit did not, and I actually like how it turned out. And then you can use your hands. I use just a little mini masher. You want to kind of mash them up just a little bit. You're not looking to totally crush these, but you just kind of want to kind of get some things started, and it'll help them roast a little bit better. Be careful though, because anyone that has squished tomatoes, when I make the homemade tomato sauce that I make, it has you squish the tomatoes by hand, and you can get that tomato on you very easily. So you always want to watch where it's squirting. So I'm just doing a gentle mash. I see some basil in here, which is lovely. I'm going to leave that in. And so you can see that's how I started. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some layers of flavor. One of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some garlic. We're going to leave our garlic whole, and we're just going to smash it to help release some of the juices. So I'm going to take some garlic cloves here to do that. I actually need some for my shrimp recipe, so I'm going to get all these garlic cloves ready so that the ones for my shrimp that I'm going to be adding on top are set to go. And by the way, this is definitely does not have to be, it can be a vegetarian meal. You do not have to add a protein. I was just adding a protein because I thought it would be nice. And, you know, I think when our boys were growing up and I made this, because they really loved this, a lot of times I wouldn't add a protein. It was a nice, inexpensive meal that I can make even on a weeknight. And they loved it. They really enjoyed the flavors. So I've got a big one. I'm just getting my ducks in a row for my sauce. I think what we'll do, okay, so I'm gonna have these 5 big ones here for roasting. I know it says 8. Hubs is a little sensitive to garlic. I'm not. So I'm going to ease up, but what's nice about this, Hubs, is that I'm not chopping this directly into it. So these big pieces of garlic will be removed. Although maybe I'll hide one in your dish just because I love you so much, right? Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, thank you. You probably will.
If I'm feeling feisty, I will, and I know I've been feisty today, so maybe I will. We'll see. No, but it's nice, and especially because then you don't have, you know, I love garlic, so I can have garlic in any fashion. But what's nice about leaving it whole is you're getting the garlic flavor, and it's roasting along with them, and you're not getting any big garlic pieces, which again, for me, wouldn't be a problem, but for some of your family or your guests might be a problem. Hi, Marcy, and hi. Yes, Marcy, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. So what is, one of the questions I have, if you feel like chatting, Marcy and John, are what are some of your favorite ways for making a tomato sauce? Again, today we're going to be roasting it in the oven, it makes it super easy. It can work while you're doing other things. You don't have to keep an eye on it. But I'm just wondering, what are some of your favorite tomato sauces that you cook for your family? So I put 3 crushed garlic cloves in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some anchovies. Now, you absolutely can get some anchovies in oil and use that container. What happens with me when I do that is I end up having anchovies that I don't use quick enough, and then I have to throw them out. So a long time ago, I have just relented, and it's actually another Cento product. I'm not getting reimbursed by them or not getting anything from using these products, but I get an anchovy paste. And while it's not as good, especially if you get some really good anchovies, while it's not as good as the whole anchovies, it does the job. And what the anchovy is doing here in this dish, it is really going to melt away and create this salty umami flavor in the dish. It's not going to taste fishy. For any of you that aren't comfortable with anchovies, please give it a try. Maybe just put 1 in or 1 squirt. I'm going to put 2 squirts in to mimic those 2 anchovies. I love anchovy flavor. And actually, my younger son, who's quite fussy, he doesn't mind the anchovy flavor in here either. He just likes the background flavor it gets. We're also going to be putting in here, and I'm measuring it just because it gives a nice heat level. We're going to be putting, I think it was, let me just check, a half teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. And I love red pepper flakes. And this just gives some heat, but it does mellow. It seems like a lot, but it's lovely. And you can always, if you're worried about the heat, you could always maybe do a 1/4 teaspoon to just, check it out. And then butter. Butter is the other, from the Bon Appetit recipe, butter is the other big ingredient that is used in this. You like ragu? Wonderful, Marcy. And passata, yes, absolutely. So Marcy, you could leave the anchovies out. If you don't care for them, just leave them out. That is not a problem. Hubs, I think he left the room. Here, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put some butter in here. Now that seems very odd Italian step to do, because oftentimes butter is not used in a lot of, especially Italian sauce recipes, but there's something about the butter, the dairy, that really mellows and develops great flavor. So as opposed to olive oil, now if you would prefer to just do olive oil, you could do olive oil. That's actually what they do in the kitchen recipe. But in the original recipe for Bon Appetit, they used butter, and I really think it does the trick. We're going to be putting a 1/4 cup in here, so I'm going to cut it into small pieces. Let me get a knife. Yes, if they're oil cured, it is better. So, Hubs, will you let Matt know that he needs to moderate something on my chat again? I think the dating places have found me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So just let him know that if he could just check out. So my son moderates. So if we have anyone joining that is really not so much invited, then he can help take care of that. So
you're not doing a dating online service?
I'm not doing a dating online service. I'm not promoting that either. So I'm just cutting the butter. It's going to be a 1/4 cup, which is a 1/2 stick. I'm just going to be cutting it into little cubes. And then kind of putting them around, dotting them around. I am going to be adding a little bit of salt and pepper. For me personally, I'm not going to be adding a lot of salt because I do watch my salt. And there's already salt in the anchovies, and there's salt already in the tomatoes. So that is up to you. Due to your, to your taste. And I can always test it. Once it's all done cooking, I will test and taste and see if I need to add any more. We're gonna add a little pepper. And then one of the things I love that the kitchen recipe did when I saw the episode is they added some fresh herbs. And I love fresh herbs, especially in a tomato sauce when they get to cook and mellow in the sauce. And so the 2 herbs I'm gonna be using are, I'm actually not using sage. Let me put that away. Oh no, there's some rosemary in there. It's like, why did I have the sage out? I still have some rosemary left over from Thanksgiving that was still good. So I'm putting a couple little sprigs. So it's probably like a total of 1 big sprig that I just put in there. Rosemary's strong, but it really is nice in there. And then I'm gonna take a couple sprigs of thyme and I'm just laying them in because we're gonna pull those out later. Do you remember this sauce?
Yeah.
Which means no, he doesn't remember this sauce. So I made this sauce a lot when the boys were still home because it was a pleaser. Like everyone loved it. You liked it. Had great flavor. And
does it have garlic in it?
It does. But I put less in then. So that's all she wrote. Oh no, one more thing. One more thing that the kitchen does. And this is a great tip. I don't know if you do this, John, already, or if you do this, Marcy. But one thing that I always add to my sauce if I'm making it is rinds of either pecorino or Parmesan. So I have Parmesan rinds, and in this sauce, they recommend adding Parmesan rinds. So I'm actually gonna just tuck this one in 2 places, and that rind lends lots of beautiful flavor. So this is ready to go in, and this is going into a 425 oven for 35 to 40 minutes. However, I'm using my convection, so I put it at 400, and it'll probably only take about 25-30 minutes. I'm gonna check it after 15 minutes and toss it around. So I'm gonna set my timer. So I'm putting in my convection oven, setting my timer for 15 minutes.
Have you kept up here?
What's that?
Have you kept up here?
Kept up here? I think so. Let me see.
I think we're delayed.
We are delayed. Sorry if it's sketchy. It was, so when I did it on Wednesday, had no delays, but today it seems to be delayed. So John was saying butter and tomato goes great together. I'd add some olive oil too. Yeah, so John, actually, what I like to do with this recipe in particular is I like to drizzle a little bit at the end just to give like that fresh olive flavor. And I feel like that gives it a nice pop. So I'm gonna just tidy up and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the shrimp. So again, it could be, you could use any protein that you wanted to. I'm gonna do shrimp today. And the shrimp are just gonna be a quick saute. I'm actually not going to saute them yet. I'm going to get them tossed in some olive oil, salt, pepper, some of these crushed garlic, and some rosemary. Actually, did I leave some left? I have one more left. Yay. I'm gonna chop up some rosemary and let that kind of marinate until we're ready to get that sauteed. So I just thought that would be, I don't know, like with the rich sauce, a nice fresh seafood sounded really good to me. Yeah, so Marcy was saying I usually use grated Parmesan on my pasta and it is needed, or sprinkled on top of my pasta dish. Yes, and I've got some Parmesan there later to add to the top. I know.
Nothing better.
Andy is a huge Parmesan fan. He would be the one that actually, so our littlest called.
Grate it on anything.
Then our littlest, we used to get, because I don't know about y'all, but when our kids were growing up, they used huge amounts of Parmesan cheese. And so, like on everything. So we bought that green container of Kraft Parmesan during those times. And also, we also, it was times were leaner. I wasn't working, and it was a nice inexpensive way to make them happy. So my youngest, because you would have to shake it, he called it shaky cheese. So we still call it shaky cheese to this day, which is one of those cute things that your kids do that you always remember. But nowadays, in fact, that same son, he does not use shaky cheese. Hubs would use shaky cheese in a hot minute. He has no shame for shaky cheese, not that we're shaming it at all.
Does not.
But he loves it. He's like, because what happens is when I want to put real Parmesan Reggiano on it, he'll be like, well, I need more. And then I'm like, well, hon, this is really good flavor. And then he just goes into the refrigerator looking for, do we have any shaky cheese? So It's just, you like what you like, right?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's actually, to me, it's very much reminiscent of growing up kids with butter and pasta and that Parmesan cheese on it, right? There's nothing better than that. So,
happy eating that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get my shrimp ready so that way they can just marinate a little bit. Oh, watch out, girly. So I'm using jumbo shrimp today, and I have them already peeled and deveined. And again, I just want to help them get some flavor before I quickly saute them in a pan. So I'm just going to get these in my bowl, and I'm going to add the flavors. Just these pretty jumbo shrimp. All right.
I'm gonna feed the dog.
So what are you all? You're gonna feed our girl. So our girl Shelby. This is her witching hour that she starts to get hungry. So Shelby's gonna eat before we are. So on this, I'm just gonna again crush. I'm gonna put this Parmesan away. This is for another sauce. Always save them. Don't get rid of them. They have so much flavor. Pecorino as well as Parmesan. So I'm gonna crush these like I did before. And I'm going to add them to the shrimp to help flavor. There we go. I'm just going to add these. So what are you all having for dinner tonight? Marcy and John, or anybody else that wants to pop in, what are you having for dinner? What are you cooking? I love shrimp too, by the way, Marcy. I feel like shrimp is such a great, easy thing to whip up super quick. And it goes with so many different kinds of cuisines. It goes with Italian. It goes with so many Asian dishes, Indian dishes, just lots of options. I love shrimp. I just love that it cooks quickly. I've actually always been a shrimp girl. Shrimp was one of the first seafoods that I loved, shrimp and flounder. And I remember Christmas Eve at my aunt's house, my mom's sister, she would always have this big bowl of cocktail shrimp that she would get from, I don't know if it was her grocer or who, but they were perfectly cooked. They were, you see a lot of grocery stores now, but that time you did not see, but she'd go get it ordered special and had cocktail sauce. Oh my gosh, I think I would eat my weight in shrimp on Christmas Eve. I was so excited. My mouth would water thinking about it.
What seafood did you not like?
I didn't like clams. My sister loved clams.
Still don't like them.
Well, I like clams in things. I like the flavor of clams. I just don't like the texture of clams. They're so chewy. I think it's a texture thing. But I love clam chowder. I just don't, I wouldn't ever get fried clams. My sister loves fried clams. My mom loves you like fried clams, right?
Fried clams.
I'm just not a big fan. And it's the texture, I'm sure. It's the chewiness. So now I'm just going to take this little bit of rosemary. I'm just going to run my knife through it just to chop it up. And I'm going to add it to my shrimp. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. So this will just give a nice little rosemary hit to it. Let me get, my salt and pepper. There we go. And then I'm going to add olive oil too. so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add olive oil to this. You can tell I love pepper. I'm gonna add olive oil to this, and then I'm going to melt, when it's time to cook them, I'm gonna melt some butter for the butter flavor in the pan. There we go. Let me toss these up so they can all get the yummy flavor.
Looks like a lot of garlic in there.
Well, I kept it whole, so it's just flavoring. I told you. He gets very worried about garlic. He has garlic nightmares.
I like garlic.
He says it doesn't like him, and I don't agree.
It's not fun.
I think it's all in your head. My youngest, and I think my eldest son is too. Like my youngest son and me, we just, oh my gosh, we just love garlic. In fact, Wednesday, I'm doing air fried shrimp again, and it's gonna be my son's favorite flavor, garlic parm.
What are you doing?
Air fried shrimp on Wednesday.
Air fried.
I mean, thank you. Air fried wings. I haven't, because I didn't, they got canceled last month because I was sick. And so I'm just rescheduling it for this month, the air fry wings, chicken wings.
Assuming you're not sick.
Well, I hope not. We've been like passing colds. We passed RSV earlier in November. It's been a fun time in our household. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the fridge to hang out until I'm ready for them because I want them to stay cold. Put these away. All right, so one of the things I did do was I'm actually gonna be cooking my pasta, my bucatini. You could use any pasta for this. I'm using bucatini because I love bucatini. I love the little hole. No, I love the little hole in it. It just is, it's one of my favorite like long pastas. So you could use regular spaghetti, you could use linguine, you could use penne. You could use really whatever you wanted with this. I've used all sorts of pasta, but I like the mouthfeel of bucatini, so that's what I'm using. And I'm gonna be cooking it in a flat pan today. So what I did already do was I already got it boiling.
Fancy. By the way, what are you drinking?
Oh.
Or what are you not drinking, I should say?
Okay. So I'm drinking, so I've been working on this drink, this concoction of, I wanted to make a cranberry margarita like for the holidays. So you'll see, I don't know if you can see, it has a blood orange slice in it. It has some frozen cranberries that help keep it cold and make it pretty because, you know, we drink,
because you're not drinking it.
We drink and eat with our eyes, and he's pressuring me. And then the first one I made, I did with triple sec and tequila and cranberry juice, and it was too sweet. So then I used Campari, tequila, and cranberry juice, and it's still a little sweet.
Yes, it's on.
Oh, hey, DS. Yes, I agree, Marcy. Garlic brings out flavors in poultry, beef, and chicken. See, Hubs, see what Marcy said? She's exactly right. It makes it so good.
It's just a matter of how much.
And yes, Marcy, Barilla is a great pasta. So one of my favorite pasta makers is, and I never know how to say it, Checco. But they do not make bucatini, and Barilla makes it, and this is a good one. So anyway, so on the drink I did Campari, tequila, and actually I put a little bit of orange bitters in there too, because I'm trying to like contrast the sweetness of the cranberry juice, and it was better. It's still a little sweet, but it was better. So let me tidy this up over here. All right, so now, as I said to you, one of my biggest hacks for getting even dinner with the family ready is getting your pasta water all set and boiling so it's ready to go. So earlier, before I started the stream, I got it boiling, and I just revived it again so it'll be easy to go once we're ready to put this in. But first, we are gonna have a salad with it. So I'm gonna be getting my dressing ready for our salad. And I wanted something, I don't know, I just wanted it to be, because of the roasted tomato sauce, I wanted something fresh and, I don't know, like brighter. And so I wanted some citrus. By the way, sweetie, it would be so helpful if you would read the comments, my love. So, DS was saying that he had a whole bottle. What? You had a whole bottle of Saint Germain yesterday? Oh, tell me, what were you making? Oh my goodness, what were you making? I've got to know. So I'm going to be making, anyways, back to the dressing. I'm going to be making a little kind of citrus vinaigrette with these. Remember these? We got them up in Peddler's Village. So this is a blood orange fused olive oil, and this is a white balsamic vinegar, and they really go nicely together. So that's what I'm going to be doing for and I've just got some baby romaine to put it in. And I thought what I would also do is, you just drink it on the rocks. I've actually never just drank. Have you ever drank it on the rocks?
You mean elderflower?
Yeah.
No.
No, that I never.
But I was
about.
actually making something with,
That's a great
because
idea.
I couldn't buy Saint Germain, so I used this stuff, but was making
Right. But once we're done that, we can get that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, what's it called? I forget what it's called. Maybe DS, Marcy, or John can help me out. When you take off the rind and you take the little segments out, I forget what that's called. And I'm sure you don't know what that's called. No, it's, I'll think of it. So all I'm going to do is I want to put this little clementine in my salad with me and continue with that citrus theme. So, what is that called? Do you guys know? Well, no, so different than zesting. I'm going to take off the skin, and then I'm going to get the segment out with my knife. And then put that in there. They talk about in the kitchen all the time. I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I know you don't have any idea.
Hi, DS.
Oh, shucks. I just don't
We're
remember.
delayed.
I know we're delayed. I apologize for the delay, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know why it happens. It's called, I'll think of it. Do you want to look it up? Segmenting fruit. So I took off I took off all of the skin, but with a knife, because I actually did not want that layer, that thin layer of like cellulose or whatever that holds it all together. And then I'm going to go, and you can actually see the lines for each segment, and I'm going to run my knife on the one side of the line and then the other side of the line. Oops, I need to actually take this off first. And then I'm going to take that little segment out, and it doesn't have any of the skin, and then I'm just doing that all the way around. And it's called something, but I forget, because that is my life. I'm always forgetting. So, and then you have these lovely little segments that don't have the skin on them, which is not the rind, but they don't have that little cellulose, skin that. Supreming, yes, that's it.
So DS said supreme. So
Say.
I just looked it up and.
Wonderful, thank you. I just couldn't remember what it was called. So I just thought this would be nice. I always have, in fact, I posted a picture of an orange today, or this week, because every day I have an orange. I teach, and so I either have it as a snack or I have it after my lunch, and that's just, I love it. To me, it's aromatherapy. It is delicious, and I love clementines because they're the perfect size. So I just supremed my clementine. I need to check on my sauce, so we'll take a peek and see how it's doing. And I'm going to need to get my pasta going because it's going to be done soon. So I'm going to get my water going. Get that going back. All right, so let's check out this sauce and see how it looks. Do a little toss. Oh my goodness.
It smells good.
Oh yes. Okay. So, this is what it looks like so far. So you can just see. So it's starting to get, it's breaking down more. It is not quite jammy yet. The jammy is actually what you want. You want it to the butter is melted. I'm just going to toss everything around. It smells divine. It smells so good. I'm going to get those herbs all in there. Again, we'll remove the garlic. We'll remove all of the herb sprigs and all that stuff. We'll get that all removed. And I'm doing a little more crushing. It'll save me the work once we take it out the last time, but the smell. And what's nice about doing it in the oven is it's evaporating. So it's intensifying the flavors of these tomatoes. It's roasting them. Oh my goodness, it smells yummy. And this is just such an easy you know, meal to fix for your family, but it tastes so complex and wonderful. It's also great for company, and to me, those are the best recipes. I'm putting it back in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll check it in 10. Okay, and I'm gonna get my pasta going. In just a second, I see it's boiling. I'm gonna turn it off one more time because I wanna finish my dressing first. So for my dressing, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the vinegar, which is a white balsamic vinegar. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper. There we go. Salt. I wish I had some fresh basil, but I don't. I might have some frozen basil. I think we talked about that I freeze some of my fresh herbs, and while they darken a bit, you can get that flavor. I'll check and see if I have it. There we go. Did I open this one yet? Oh, I haven't. Oh, I haven't opened this yet, sweetie. I didn't realize we hadn't used it yet when we went there. Let me get a knife to get this, or scissors to get this open. I think a knife will work better.
Let me take a shot of that.
Yep. Let me see here. Oh, Chinese orange chicken, Marcy. That sounds delicious. That sounds really good. I love Asian. I love Asian food. That's, you know, I think what I love most is just that there's just so many options for us to cook, right? So many different styles of food, which just makes it awesome. I'm gonna get a little whisk, and I'm just going to drizzle my oil. I will need to re-whisk this. Let me just do a little taste, and I'm gonna let my oranges marinate in this. I just want it to be a light, not too heavy dressing. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. I wish you could taste it. It's got like that blood orange fused olive oil is amazing. You can taste that orange flavor, and then the sweetness of the white balsamic and some salt and pepper. I'm gonna put these in there so they can have some happy times in that flavor. There we go. We'll let that set aside, and all we'll need to do is toss it a little bit, whisk it a little bit, and add our lettuce. So that's good. All right, so now we're gonna get our pasta cooking. So I'm gonna turn that back on a third time. We put the cap on this, and we'll get the pasta in. All right. Now I'll put this over here. All right, so I'm gonna get it all in. Now the reason I'm using a flat pan instead of my big pan is because I want to use this for my shrimp. And my husband, Marcy, I don't know if you know this yet, but my husband is a wonderful dishwasher. Like, I make the messes, I cook, and he cleans them up. And so, I forgot to add the salt. Always add salt to your water so you can get some good flavor in your pasta. Anyways, so I try to like be mindful of the dishes that I'm getting dirty so that he stays a happy washer. So I'm gonna let that come to a boil. You can turn that down a little bit. And my bucatini, I think, cooks for about 10 minutes. Where did I put the box? Oh, here's the box. I think it usually cooks for about 10. Let me just check. Oh, only 7. All right. So, good job. I'm glad I checked, right? Well, my personal pet peeve is overcooked pasta. I do not like soggy pasta. And this one I want to make sure, because it's going to sit for a little bit, I actually want it to be even a little bit under, like just shy of al dente, because it's going to sit for a little bit while I do my shrimp up real fast. So I want to make sure that it allows for a little bit of cook time while it's sitting. And the problem is I don't want to rinse it in cold water because I want it to cling to the sauce once I add it. So right here is where I'm going to be putting that pasta once it's done. So I'm going to get my shrimp out so they can come up just a little bit in temperature because they are going to be sauteed soon. So DS, what we have done, as you saw, is I mashed up 2 recipes that called for roasted tomatoes, making a sauce in the oven. And I put together the one that was from Bon Appetit that I first found that had butter in the recipe, and mashed it up when The Kitchen did a similar recipe, but they added the rind of, I think they added pecorino rind, but you could do, of course, any of those cheeses. And they also added some fresh herbs, which I loved. So that's kind of how I do it now. The original recipe, Bon Appetit does do the anchovies, and the other one, The Kitchen did not. So, and I do like the anchovy flavor, but of course you could always leave it out. That is not a problem. So I'm gonna tidy up a little bit while that is finishing. My pasta's cooking away. I just wanna make sure it's not sticking. And again, my boys, you know, they loved this sauce. The sauce was definitely a pleaser. It's funny, I don't know if any of you personally have preferences with pasta. Really, I've not met a pasta that I don't like. I absolutely love pasta. It's my favorite indulgence. I do not eat a lot of pasta like in the spring, summer. I eat more of it, you know, in the fall, winter, which is delightful. Makes me very happy. But I really like, there's something about the long pastas, like when you're twirling, there's just something about it, the action and the feel, that is, to me, wonderful, a wonderful way to eat. And my one son was not a big fan, my eldest was not a big fan of the long pastas. So, you know, oftentimes I didn't do the long pasta a lot. I don't know what it really was. I'll have to ask him now that he's an adult, like kind of what he could pinpoint it as being. So we did a lot of pennes, a lot of rigatoni, because that was his preference. Just was not a big fan of the longer pasta. My youngest and I loved the long pastas. Oh, that's a great question. So DS was asking, where do you get your inspiration for cooking and enjoying it? That's an awesome question. So I think for me, cooking is how I show my love. So early on when I started cooking, I was interested in cooking because I loved eating my cooking. So it was definitely self-centered at that point. But then once I think once really I was in college and, you know, started, I dated in high school, but like was dating someone more seriously, like the idea of cooking for someone you cared about was wonderful. And, you know, honestly, Andy, I remember the first time I made dinner for him, we totally remember everything I made. I'm just talking about the first meal I made you, sweetie. I didn't make a fancy meal. I made a homemade barbecue chicken pizza with like red onion and cilantro on top, and a strawberry poppy seed salad. I do remember that. So
the first thing I made you.
Yes, you made me your mom's dish.
I did.
Absolutely, which we will do sometime on here. It's just a comfort food family favorite. But so honestly, and then when we had kids, so that was the hard thing when you have kids that, you know, are picky, like our youngest was picky, is food is how I show my love. So when I was cooking things and they didn't want it, I'll have to tell you, as a mama, that was hard because I was like, but that's how I show you. Like, that's how I take care of you. So I definitely was not a short order cook, but I absolutely chose my meals around what my family would eat. And so Andy and I would tend to eat the things that we liked that our boys didn't like, we'd eat them out. Or occasionally if we were just cooking a dinner for the two of us. But when I would make family meals, I made sure it was something that really everyone enjoyed. And that became really important. So that's what inspires me. And to this day, I really love cooking for people. I love having people over for like a cocktail party and making the little snacks and making the cocktails. I mean, really, to me, it's about celebrating with people and bringing happiness, bringing a smile to their face. Let me see here. And Marcy was saying, your pasta has to be tender. I only have it taste when I make lasagna. Ooh, yum. Yeah, DS. He was on it, wasn't he? And so that just shows the importance of food, because I think the food memories, they really stick with us, right? They make us, you know, remember where we were, what we were thinking, what we were feeling. DS, what's your favorite thing that you cook your wife? And John, if you're still here, what's the favorite thing you cook your wife? All right, so let me see how much time is left. The pasta still has another minute. So I'm gonna actually get my salad out. so I have the lettuce out, and I'm also gonna get our plates out. Just so we have those. Because this is gonna be our dinner real time. I got our forks out for when that time is ready. And I'm still like nursing my drink, which frustrates him to no end.
Oh my God.
But it is good.
The ice is gone.
No, I
It's
just
like completely diluted.
The good news is that I don't mind a watered down drink.
It's not even a.
Oh, you're funny. Okay, so I've turned that one off, and I'm just waiting for my pasta. Let me try my pasta. I think my pasta's about ready, so I'm gonna try it. Oh, I can tell. I will tell you. I can tell by the shape that's not near ready. Look at it. It's just way too. Oh yeah, it's still crunchy.
Right?
Sure. Definitely crunchy.
Oh yeah, tasty.
Well, it is tasty. Now, one of the things I'm going to do right now before I forget is I'm going to reserve some pasta water, just in case we need to loosen anything up. Here we go. Reserve some water. Turning off my timer. Pasta water is like such liquid gold. It's seasoned. It helps thicken.
Until I met you.
What's that?
I would have never known that until I met you.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I wouldn't.
I know. All these little things. Now you know what supreming means.
So who?
Supreming.
Ah.
With the salad. Get this open.
Yeah.
This was from our nearby market. So I went convenience. Just some baby lettuces. I wonder if that was supposed to cover it. I think I'll have to put in a baggie. Oh, it was supposed to peel and reseal. So I kind of messed that up. Oh well. I will have to put it in another baggie. Getting close.
So whoever's on, I'm going to ask.
Yes.
Does anybody like scotch?
DS might like scotch. I don't know. I agree, Marcy, by the way. Some pastas do take longer, and they give you that time, you know, on the box, and sometimes mine take a lot longer. And it's kind of like I don't know what made them put that time. We are getting closer.
DS says, why not? No, I've just never developed a taste for scotch. I don't know why. I like everything else.
So does it taste similar to bourbon or no?
No.
Does it taste similar to anything that you drink?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I'm sure it does, but
Let's see. Oh,
I try, you know.
no, it's not ready yet.
Right.
So Marcy, this has probably been cooking for 9 minutes now, and it's not ready. Which, you know, it just goes to show. It's just a suggestion. But I also, Marcy, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I've also had times I was cooking pasta, and all of a sudden it like got done right away, and it was starting to get too soft and mushy, and I missed that window. So I always like to check, because that way it's done just right. Oh, you know what we can do? We can get our cheese grated. We can get our cheese grated for the top of the pasta.
You can cut me a piece of that cheese.
Is that what you'd like me to do?
Pretty much.
I think he just likes me to get out the cheese so he can.
I already did it.
Oh, you. Oh, he did. Look at that. Look at that. He took a little nugget out of there. Oh my goodness. Between he and my youngest, they would just.
Saw that.
I did not see. I don't see half the things that happen on stream until I rewatch later, and then I see all his. I see all this mischievousness. Here we go.
Thank you.
Or mischievousness. Mischief, right? Did I say that right? So I'm. Yeah. So I'm just going to get some of this grated, so we can just put it on quick. There we go. Because we'll put this over a little sampling of it. All right. There we go. And I bet you our bucatini's ready. I just feel it. I feel like it's going to be ready this time. Let me see. Oh, it definitely is, because that just came apart.
Matteo says. Mateo.
Yeah, it's our son.
I know. Got to be more attentive of us. See?
Ah, I see.
Andy's scotch is my gin. Yeah.
So Matt, what's your favorite pasta shape?
So, wait a minute. Where'd that go?
And actually,
so DS is not a gin fan.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So I love gin, but I just can't get scotch.
And I'm not a bourbon fan, DS. I'm just not. I like bourbon in cooking, but any of the drinks that he gets, I try, and it feels like medicine. It doesn't feel good at all. But neither boy's got that trait, right, Matt? You definitely like the bourbon. Okay, so I feel like I want to get a little bit more of this water. There we go. There we go. So now I'm dumping the water out. I'm saving my pasta water because
any pasta is beautiful.
any pasta. Equal opportunity pasta. Now I'm going to get this heated right back up.
Marcia says overcooked pasta is more like flour.
Oh, exact. No, it's like mush. There's nothing worse. All right, so I'm going to get some butter in. I don't need that much butter, so I need my little knife. And I'm going to get these shrimpies cooked so that we can eat. There we go. So the butter is cooking, and I still don't have my camera. In fact, Matt, ever since I did an update, by the way, everyone joining, I'm so sorry for this little side conversation with my son. Ever since I did the update, I can't use my camera. It's not connecting, like when I open the app. So just tuck that away and maybe you come over and help me figure that out because I can't show my camera shots anymore.
Probably not the most appropriate.
No, I just wanted to give him a heads up because I forget, like, to ask him this stuff. You know what? I am going to need the other butter because that's a big pan. So I'm putting both butters in. All right, so I'm just melting some butter here, friends, and I'm putting these shrimp that have been kind of marinating in rosemary, crushed garlic cloves, some salt and pepper and olive oil. And we're gonna just dump these into the pan, spread them out, and let it all cook and become happy. So, Matt, you would like this without the shrimp. And actually, this would have been very much like what I would have done with my family. I would have maybe cooked some shrimp for Andy, David, and I, and then we would put them on the top, and Matt would just have the pasta. So that's what's great about this recipe, because the recipe itself is so yummy, but you can absolutely, just have your protein be for those who want it. So let those sear a little bit. Let me see what's going on in the comments. The abundance, the OBS update. Oh, okay. So when I was updating OBS, I think that was the problem. Yeah, I think so. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. You're right, DS. Yeah, so rosemary, I'm trying this. So full transparency, I've not tried the rosemary with my shrimp yet, but there's rosemary in our sauce, rosemary and thyme, so I thought I'm gonna try it with the shrimp. And I love rosemary, so I'm flipping my shrimp. So besides not liking to overcook pasta, I cannot stand to overcook shrimp. I don't want them to be rubbery, I want them to be just tender. And we're getting all that good garlicky flavor. Okay, so we're about time, sweetie. So actually, can you do me a favor, Hubs?
Sure.
Can you tear up this lettuce and put it in our little salad dressing and then toss it?
Yep.
I'm gonna get out the sauce and I'm gonna add our pasta to it while our shrimp finish cooking. Woo! Oh, I got a facial. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that look good? It's all jammy. Look how deep the color got. Look how deep the color got. So now I do need to get a couple things out of here. I need to get out the herbs. I need to get out the garlic, which makes me super sad.
Thank God.
Because otherwise he will be unhappy. Although between you and me, I think that...
Again, I like garlic.
I think the garlic would be
There's a big piece right there.
I mean, you're going to have to wait a second. I'm doing a couple things. I'm going to flip over my shrimp, and I'm taking them off the heat because they are cooked. I don't want them to overcook.
So what do you want me to do?
So you're tearing that up, so just like that, just in half. No. Can I show you what I mean? Like that. Just in half. Just so they're not huge pieces. I'm taking out my rind because as delicious as this makes our sauce, we don't want it to bite it. Don't forget that these things are here, that we'll put them in the trash, okay, babe?
Okay.
Let me find it. Oh, and I have the herbs, because we don't want a woody stick, right? That would not be good. Here's another rind of Parmesan and another woody stick. So you do want to do a little searching. Make sure you get all those goodies out, because they did their job. We've thanked them, and they can go back. Let's see. Oh, I found the garlic.
Thank you.
I know. Let me see. Oh, I found some rosemary.
How much do you want me to do?
I don't know, a little bit more. You're probably close. Maybe 2 more. And I found some more thyme. So it's okay if the little pieces of rosemary here, but I just don't want the stick. Like that's the thyme stick. That's what you don't want.
Toss it.
You don't want the thyme stick.
What's that?
Yeah, toss it, please.
Here, let me move this.
Matt, he's pressuring me.
Drink that you.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to taste this, because I want to see if it's seasoned okay. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh, it's so good. And that red pepper, while you aren't sitting there going like you're eating Szechuan or something, it just has that round heat because it's been roasting. So good. Oh, but then just hit the back of my throat. So I did.
Oh, you're going to drink it now. No, now you need to drink.
So I was all like, what's the word that you might want to say? I was boasting. And you know what happens when you boast?
Yeah.
Life humbles you right up.
Comes back in
Oh, that was funny. Okay, so now I want to get my pasta in there. And I have my extra sauce in case I need it. I'm going to get my tongs. Tongs are one of my favorite tools.
Does Andy cook? Dia says, does Andy cook? What's his best meal? My lunch.
Oh, that's your best meal. Yes, talk about your lunch meal.
So it's pretty simple. It's usually
a wrap.
good. It's a wrap. I guess yes.
We use it as a wrap. You don't have to use it as a wrap.
So it's
That's
grilled
what we
chicken
like.
and peppers and onions and olive oil and
Spicy peppers.
spicy peppers.
We like it spicy.
So it's very simple, which is pretty much where my talent ends with cooking. So I am not the cook, I am the cleaner.
So DS, the next time, because I know we're nearing the end, next time, remind me to tell the story about when Andy cooked me dinner, which was so sweet, but there was a funny conversation at the end of that. So, when you cooked the dinner. So, here you can see, friends, that 12 ounces of pasta with that 1 can, 30-ounce can, it was perfect. It's the perfect amount, and you could bring this right to the table and serve it. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to save this just in case this gets a little bit too thick. I'll save it for later.
Is that pasta water?
That's pasta water. So I'm going to take some. I'm going to.
Got some on the edge of the plate.
Thank you, sweetie. Get that there. I'm going to get our little shrimpies on. Oh wow, I'll just use the same one. Ooh, some pretty shrimp, some jumbos. So and I'm going to get some cheese on this. And I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil on it, because that's where you can get the flavor.
There you go.
Just a little olive oil, and there we go. So I will plate up a nice plate for later. And we are definitely glitchy because we are. So you can see that we've got our jumbo shrimp. All right, you ready to try?
I am.
Okay, let's give it a whirl. And get a little bit of pasta. My shrimp. Need to twirl it.
You probably need a little bit more cheese. Oh, you hit my thing. How is it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. That is yummy. That is yummy. And even without the shrimp, it's yummy. It is. It
really
is
is.
so.
Has a little bit of like just a
heat?
touch of heat, but not a lot.
Not too bad. Nope.
It's not overly garlicky. Thank you.
Oh, woo! Woohoo! Not overly garlicky.
And again, I love garlic. I just struggle with it sometimes. The shrimp is awesome. It's not overcooked. The shrimp is really perfectly cooked.
I love the bucatini. They've got such a great bite to them. Okay, let's do a little bit of the salad real quick, because I know this wasn't billed. We'll just put a little bit right there.
Man, that's good.
Put a little bit right there. Taste a little salad. That light dressing, which I thought would be a great like counterpoint.
Oh. Sweet. Not
good.
too sweet though.
Very good.
Phenomenal.
Very good. Well, John, Marcy, DS, and anybody else that's joining, and Maddie, thank you so much. Oh, I wonder. Yes, I love it, DS. And I like the heat. The heat to the end is awesome, but not too much. I highly recommend that half a teaspoon of pepper flakes that they recommend, because it really does mellow out. So thank you so much for joining. It was so fun chatting with you all. Marcy, this is the first time I've chatted with you, so a pleasure, and maybe you'll be able to join some future streams. I am streaming on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock, doing continuing my air fry series of my air fry wings, and it's going to be...
I thought it was shrimp.
It's going to be garlic parm. So Matt, if you want to join and come over here for some free food, it's your favorite flavor, but no pressure. And then next weekend is, I forget, but you'll see it on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter now, or Twitter yet, please do on Philly Philly Live. It's at Philly Philly Live. And I always talk about my upcoming streams, and we share foodie pics, and you'll see foodie pics from John and DS and Marcy. I don't know if we're connected on Twitter yet, or if you're on Twitter, but I love sharing all the pictures and all the food experiences with my foodies. So have a wonderful week ahead. It's December, so we're getting ready for the holidays. Enjoy yourself, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you for supporting my channel, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe this live stream, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Thank you all so much. Mwah. Oh, Archie!
Bye.
Wait, I can't go yet. Archie just popped on. Archie, yes, we have all this pasta for you with your name on it. So you'll have to check it, Archie. We are about ready to have our dinner, but thank you for popping on, and I wish you an awesome week, friend. And I hope we'll see you later.
Good night.
Bye, friends.